They're not easy cars to drive, A, because they're quite tricky machines, and the amount of systems we have, every day it's getting more and more complex.
Everything is basically condensed within the steering wheel and within the dash, from the tire pressure to the brake temperature to the consumption and the power and the speed. I mean, you have to be really trained and up to speed in order to look at those numbers, process them in your head, know what you have to do if you need to change things, and at the same time, of course, drive the racing car at the limits. We've got really a lot of buttons.
In most cars you have pit, full course yellow, rain, and then brake bias.
That's the marker button. If you felt a strange noise, you press the button and the team will find it very quickly what happened. The attack mode is the one I prefer, because you get a bit more power out of it.
You press the radio button to speak to the team. That's really important. Sometimes we need help during the race, and also a little bit of advice. Without my engineer, I don't think I'd be able to do the same job, so it's very important to be able to communicate with the team.
So we call this button the multi-switch, and we have many things that we can change, from the start map to the energy, the number of laps we are supposed to do. And with those two top levers, we can go through different maps.
And that's probably the most complicated one, because you've probably got 10 different things to change with maybe 20 options within them. That's probably the hardest one to get used to and to know. And yeah, you have to be pretty quick because you don't have an awful lot of time to do it.
You have to think ahead where you're going to change and what you're going to change, because the straights are not long enough in order to change everything in one go and keep the focus. So you always think, okay, on that straight I'm going to change that switch, and then on the next straight I'm going to change those switch. Especially if you go to a track like Rome or Paris, which has lots of bumps, it's even more difficult because it's already difficult to keep your hands on the steering wheel. So if at the same time you need to change those switches, it's really hard.
Yeah, without going into too much detail and sharing all the secrets, yeah, that's pretty much the simple side.